Welcome back to Designing Your Goodbyes. Let's jump right into it. Dear Dr. Dandridge, it's been 2 years since my dad died. And if I'm honest, I haven't really dealt with it. I buried myself in work, kept myself busy, and told everyone I was fine. But last week, I went to call him like I always used to. And halfway through dialing, it hit me. He's gone. For the first time in 2 years, I broke down, sobbing in the middle of my living room. I think I tricked myself into believing I didn't need to grieve. Now I feel like the grief is crashing over me all at once, and I don't know how to handle it. Is it too late to start grieving the right way? Number one, thank you for writing in and for sharing your story. I know that there are a lot of people who are listening and watching who put grief on hold. One of the things that I say often to a lot of my families and a lot of the people that I work with is I think it was Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry said it on a podcast about a year or so ago, and I heard it, and it is probably the most profound statement about grief that I've ever heard. He said, grief will wait for you to finish before it begins its work. One of the things that you said is that you buried yourself inside of your work, that you kept yourself busy, and that you told yourself and probably everybody else that you were fine, that you were okay, that you were dealing with it well. And the truth is, you weren't. And you know that you weren't. You even acknowledged that you really did not take the time to grieve. But I don't want to beat you up for that because a lot of people do that, myself included. I mean, we experience loss, we experience change, we experience something traumatic happening inside of our lives. And instead of us sitting and dealing and grieving, we get busy. And a lot of people do that. There are a lot of people are writing inside of Designing Your Goodbyes. There are some people who busy is good for them because if they're not busy, they're going to sit and waddle and be with their emotions a little bit too much. Also, there are people who are polar opposites to you, who probably stayed in bed for 2 weeks after losing a parent. However, way you are choosing to grieve, whether it is to keep yourself busy or to completely isolate yourself, eventually you're going to have to come out of the hole or you're going to have to stop doing what you're doing, stop being as busy as you are, and sit with your emotions. That is one of the things that I push a lot of my families and a lot of my caregivers to do is when you're ready. Now, one of the things that you said at the end, is it too late to start grieving the right way? There is no right or wrong way to grieve. It's it took you 2 years to get to this place, and guess what? That's your journey. That is the right way for you. It took you having to pick up the phone and call your dad out of habit, out of, um, I guess you could say, just pure, I guess, autopilot is what you were on for you to realize that, hey, dad is not here. And sometimes it takes those things. Grief doesn't hit everybody the same way. Loss and change does not hit everyone the same way. One of the things that I love about what you wrote that I'm hoping a lot of people hear, you said, for the first time in 2 years, I broke down, sobbing in the middle of my living room. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that, for allowing your grief and your emotions to meet you exactly where you were when they surfaced. I think the biggest advice that I could give you and anyone else who also might be experiencing this is that when the emotions rise, allow them to. Don't suppress them down. Do your best to not have a total melt. I mean, now let's just be honest. If you're experiencing emotions like this in the middle of the mall, Wait till you get to your car, okay? But if you can't, let the tears start rolling, and then once you get to your car, inside of the mall parking lot, then of course let them out. I mean, there is, not to say right or wrong ways to express emotions, but there are safe ways, in order to express emotion. But the fact that you were able to experience those emotions, the fact that you were able to acknowledge those emotions, and then the fact that you were able to express those emotions inside of that moment, I think shows growth. Not growth to the point of, like you said, grieving the right way, but growth to the point of you beginning now your journey of grief. You truly having a moment where you can say, okay, I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to go through the tools. I'm ready to talk to someone. I'm ready to start a ritual. I'm ready to start writing. I'm ready to start journaling. I'm ready. I have finished grief. Let's do our work. I think it's noble of you to say, you know something, even though it's been 2 years later, I still want to do the work. There are a lot of people that I come in contact with who have grief from 5, 10, 15 years ago who say it's been too long. I don't want to deal with it. Or that happened so long ago. I don't think that I can go back there. It's been 2 years for you. And the fact that you're saying that you want to begin that journey of grief, that you want to begin that process of grief, I think it's noble. And anyone who is watching, anyone who is listening right now, whether your loss, whether your change um, happened 5 days ago, 2 years ago, 15 years ago, or even if you're anticipating loss, whenever you want to start your journey, I commend you for just starting. Give yourself some grace. It took you 2 years, but guess what? You're starting. You are beginning the work, and I think that that is more important. It is more important for you to just start than for you not to be able to go through your emotions, go through your feelings, um, find the support that you need inside of this season. So, to answer your question, is it too late to start grieving the right way? No. You have started grieving the right way the moment that you picked up the phone, realized your dad was not going to pick up on the other end, and you allowed your emotions to meet you exactly where you were. That is when you started grieving, quote unquote, the right way, which is your way, which is your journey, which is your path. As you're moving forward, find support, find some resources, embrace some rituals that can really help you honor this journey. Maybe, talk to someone and share this with them. Say, hey, it took me 2 years and a phone call that I knew dad was not going to pick up on the other end that made me realize that dad was gone. And when you start that, I believe that your process is going to be one of so much grace and one of so much blessing just for you. But like I said, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing in a way that shows us that even delayed grief can still be liberating grief. And I wish you nothing but the best inside of this journey and pray that this advice, um, that some of these resources and tools will also be able to help you inside of your journey. So, thank you all for listening. Brother, thank you so much for writing in and for sharing your story with us all. And I will see you all inside the next episode, okay?